and good evening, good night, and welcome to the Attitude Shift. Yes, it's top of the hour. It's 9 o'clock. It's not 9:30 like it usually is when you rev with Siobhan and I. But we're going to shift back to a little old school, the way we used to do things for a while, and see how that works with everybody. Again, welcome to the Attitude Shift. I'm Donna M. Butler. Wouldn't be a show, wouldn't be a ride, wouldn't be able to turn some corners and kick rocks without my wing woman, my titanium link, dear sister, Siobhan Shaw. Hey, baby, how are you doing tonight?
I am hot, hot, and hot.
Yes,
and it has nothing to do with my sex appeal. My cyber stalkers, I'm talking about them this week, but it really has nothing to do with them. It has everything to do with the heat. We're having a little heat wave here and forest fires. So then you can't breathe. It's too hot to go outside and do anything. Even the dog won't go outside. So
yeah, it's kind of like that on this end as well. I'm in an undisclosed location. Wink, wink.
Oh, come on. People can tell you're in your bathroom. You're almost sitting in your bathtub, probably.
I'm in the bath tonight. I'm doing the show from the bath. Just wanted to let you know. I am actually in my bathroom. Why am I in my bathroom, you might ask?
Yes,
we
might.
No, actually, I needed some quiet. I have a lot of kids over tonight, and they're making sugar cookies. And so I'm doing a show. Sugar cookies, 7 kids, and a radio show, or television show, internet show, does not mix.
No,
so
but I
I
actually think that you should do it in the bathroom. It's really good lighting. It sounds pretty good, a little hollow, a little echoey, but you could get a really good mic for your computer and do that. I think from now on, I think all the viewers should write in and say, yes, do the show from the bathroom.
And they can even tell me what type of design to use on my lovely shower curtain. They can say, what kind of curtain is she going to have next week?
That's right. You could shift it up. You're going to shift your shower curtain.
Or we can say, who's behind the curtain?
Ooh.
And just maybe there's someone back there. We'll see.
And what are they wearing? I can't wait.
Okay.
Moving on. Before you rev your engine, I want you to talk about some videos that you're putting up about The View.
About The View. It's time to change our view. It's time to really look at the show The View, and that's what we're doing. We got into a conversation a couple of weeks ago when they made the announcement that Sherri Shepherd and Jenny McCarthy were going to be leaving The View. And they've been throwing names around, Rosie O'Donnell and John McCain's wife. I don't know her name. Sorry about that.
Daughter. Meghan McCain.
Daughter, right. Meghan McCain. And then the political analyst, Ann Curry. Can't get her last name out. But
Ann Curry.
Yes, those were some of the names that got tossed around. Well, you and I started talking, and we started, saying, these are a lot of recycled people. We've seen them around before. They've been around the block a few times, and I don't mean that in any way disrespectful. But they've been out and about. And Rosie has had a stint on The View. And so we started toying around the idea, not necessarily toying because it's not a joke, it's serious, about holding open auditions for The View, giving women an opportunity, or men, because...
And we've lost Donna. So what she was going to say, while I get her back, ladies and gentlemen, is that we feel that it's time for a new view on The View. And somebody who hasn't been on TV, somebody whose opinion you haven't heard, and somebody from Middle America, somebody from perhaps your block, your town, the lady from your church, somebody, the clerk from the 7-Eleven down the street, somebody with a point of view that isn't typical of what we would see from these hosts, and of course we love all the women on The View and all the other shows that are out there. We follow them, but we are looking, and I think that America is looking for a new view, a view from somebody on the street, basically, and not, well, maybe it could be a prostitute, maybe it could be somebody that's a little controversial. So they might have a very common opinion about things, about politics, about raising kids, or they might have a very controversial one. And so that.
Don't know, but here I am again.
There you are. And they could do the show from their bathroom if they wanted to. No, anyway, I was just telling the audience that, the person is, maybe the clerk at the 7-Eleven. It may be Donna M. Butler. It may be a Canadian. Hint, hint.
It may be.
No, but the thing is it could be anybody whose opinion isn't a celebrity opinion.
Right, exactly.
Right? It may be a common opinion. It may be a controversial opinion, as I was just saying. But it's an opinion from somebody who's, struggling, living the life, not the life, the wealthy life, the driving around in limos and having your hair done every day life, the life of trying to pay the bills and make things happen. And what is it going to be like for that person to go to New York City and be on a show and go through whatever they have to go through to get up every day and get on the show and have something important to say and vital to say?
Right, and I think it makes it, interesting, because there's a lot of people out there, just like you said, like you and I, we've been doing this for 5 years now. And there's a lot of people out there that have that talent, that don't mind the grind of doing this. This one show that we put on once a week, believe it or not, it does take work. It does, and we have to depend on, Google Plus, to be up and running. Our computers have to be up and running, and it can be pretty exhausting. So it would be interesting to see a person pulled out of Mini and brought into, a set, and like you said, their hair and makeup. Would someone allow someone to do that? I think about myself. I like doing my own hair. I got up 2 o'clock the other morning and I did a full chop, on my hair. And as many of you know, next week I might have red hair, big afro. And so for me, I don't want anyone to handle, my makeup or my hair or even my clothing. It would be something that I would want to do myself. And it would just be interesting to see if that person could be made into a celebrity, or would they stay themselves? Would that bug bite them? And then 2 years down the line, the audience is saying, hey, we want to change the view because, now she's a real bitch,
Right. And there is our special guest tonight has popped in. So you just saw her picture. We're going to skip Revenue Engine because
let's skip that.
No, it's hot enough out tonight. We don't need to
I can rev my engine during this conversation because we're going to really be going, we're going there tonight.
So we have the founder and owner of Rebirth Magazine, and that is rebirthmagazine.net. Her name is Simone. I am She Phoenix Higginbotham. Wow, that is a long name, Simone. How are you? Welcome to the.
I'm good. How are you?
We're great. So tell us why I Am She Phoenix is part of your name.
It goes back, I guess, about maybe 10 years ago. I was recently I was in an abusive marriage. I recently left that situation and divorced, and all the things that come along with that. You have to starting all over again. You started from scratch. So one day I was talking to some friends and I thought about it. I said, well, all the things that I've been through, and no matter what, I felt like at some points that I've been destroyed. And a phoenix is a mythological creature that, keeps reborn from the ashes. So no matter what I came up against, or whatever I was in, that I was having an issue with or a problem, I always seem to be able to rise above it. So that's why I started calling myself that. And of course, I'm a female, so She Phoenix. So that's why I started calling myself that. I still consider myself to be that.
I love that. That is absolutely beautiful. It's actually very inspiring to people. I think everybody should have a middle name that they go by or a stage name or whatever you want to call it that represents their journey. And I think that that's fabulous. So welcome to the Attitude Shift. Donna's having some internet problems as well. That's the Life of the Web show. Woo. Thank you very much, Internet. But we do. We love Google Plus because people get to see us. We get to see our guests that come on, and it's just so much fun to be able to talk to people face to face because we actually see each other as opposed to just hearing each other. And here we are, Donna M. Butler in her bathroom.
Absolutely. It's not a party if you can't be by the sink and the tub and the toilet. I have it all around me tonight, so I'm ready.
No flushing. No flushing, please.
No flushing. Well, I'm ready to dispel the BS, clean our mouths out, and clean up our attitude right behind the curtain, all tonight. See that? One-stop shop right here.
Okay, so you guys picked the topic of the show. So, Donna, you go ahead and tell everybody what it is, because I actually had to ask you.
Well, it was really cool because I know Simone, and she's awesome, by the way. She does so much for the community, so much for women, and it's really great to have you on tonight, sweetie. But one thing that I noticed with Simone, being where she is, there should be a lot more people trying to, help out, help her on her cause, help her with her mission. I mean, she is a, founder, owner of Rebirth Magazine. Just the name alone should be enticing, to empower women to be rebirthed, and start over. And not just women, because I know Simone reaches across all demographics, but because of who we are, it's kind of where I got out of the crabs in the bucket. We started talking about people that can possibly throw a lifeline to you or can possibly introduce you maybe to a connection or someone that possibly can help you along your journey, but because they're not where they're at, they kind of pull you down. And that's where we got that idea. That's where that crabs in the bucket. If you've ever seen crabs in a bucket, what do? They crawl over each other, they snap at each other, they bite at each other, but no one ever gets out of the bucket because they're always pulling each other down. So Simone, take it away, darling. Let's talk about that attitude.
As you probably know yourself as well, all three of us, just from being women, and generally I've noticed that, I'm gonna speak this about, I can't speak for men. I haven't really experienced it with the opposite sex in doing things, especially in the community or doing things in business, but it seems like women, we're all in a race to be to the top, and we want to be like my grandmother would say, that ace boon coon, the top dog. We can't all do that, and I feel like we all could be at the top together. So we always have those individuals that will do anything and everything to keep you from being ahead of them. There's no such thing as being together, going to the top together, or doing it as a team. It's always me, I must reach the top first. And then, that's nothing wrong with reaching the top, but once most individuals get to the top, they forget to reach back and pull those individuals back up with them. So that's when I think about the crab mentality. No matter, and it's always, in the end, if they have that mentality, if I can't get out, then you won't get out, and we'll all die in this bucket together.
What? Right. That is a really cracked way of thinking.
It is.
And it was meant to be a pun, because don't you crack crab legs or something?
Yes, you do. Yes.
But really, can you imagine, like, you're trying to be successful, but you're so busy trying to keep everybody else down that you don't become successful because you're putting all this energy and time and effort into keeping everybody else down, so your focus is down, not up?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And you see that, we see that. Look at reality television. Look at what we're seeing. Look what's being shown. The women are always bad-mouthing each other. They're pulling their weaves out there. We're creating that. All the shows that there's a fighting and the arguing about, there's no one really pulling together to help each other. Even the survival shows now have taken a shift. That there used to be teams, now they're backstabbing the teams, to put someone in the top, but yet it's still a team effort. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
So,
not.
Simone,
Go ahead.
no, I'm just going to ask, why do you think people do that? What do they get out of it?
From watching people from the well, this is just from watching, observing from the outside, and it seems now there are some that get some type of personal vindication from this, some personal. It's almost like a high to do this, and then some people have this fear of that if I help this person, then they're going to surpass me. So they want to. They get the power. It's all about power. To be honest,
Absolutely.
just like you always hear the phrase, that rape is not about sex, but it basically it's about power and control. So it's about they get the sense of power and control out of it. I'm controlling this person that wants to do something, wants to aspire, being something, or wants to do their business to be a success. But I'm holding all the cards. I have the control. They have to look up to me. They have to ask me for this assistance. They need me to get to the next level. So it's all about power. It's all about control. It's just at the end of the day, that's what it is.
And I agree 100% because you just said something, holding the cards. You look at someone that, like, they have something that can help further you along, but they
Hmm.
just won't relinquish that. They just won't relinquish that. Even if it's a phone number, a contact,
Yeah.
that could help you on your way, but it doesn't get them anywhere. You see that mentality. And Simone, I can't help but agree with you on that because it is about power. It is totally about power. And I feel that people that do that, you find that more in the business that we all are in. We're trying to, be in the media and we're out there trying to get messages out. You find that if people don't like your message or if they don't like you, they might not like the hair you have on or the shirt you wore. I don't like the way she dresses. There's always an excuse, but like she said, I feel it goes right to power.
Yes, it is. And I'm gonna tell you something else I find very, very common here in Baton Rouge. I've been basically, I guess, kind of like in the public eye and having a business since 2010. And I've noticed that you have cliques, especially with women. There are cliques, and if you don't, you're not from a certain place, or you don't live a certain place. Like you said, if you don't wear a certain type of shirt, you don't wear your hair a certain way, or whatever, they're not making it available to the things, the contacts and the information that they know that will assist you and getting to where you're trying to get. So it's all about clicks. It's all about power. It's all about control. And I find myself now in the last year, I had to go back and just rethink some of the things that I've done. And I've noticed people probably noticed a big turnaround in the way that I do things, especially with my magazine. It's really, really grown since I've had the time to step back into it because I had individuals in my camp, in my midst for the wrong reasons, just to get in, just to keep you down. And when you realize, you have to, even in your circle of business and circle of people that are on your team that are quote unquote supposed to be a part of your team, they're there to hold you down also. So and to get out of that situation, you have when you realize that you're there and you have that realization that you have people that are in your camp that are doing it, that's when you have to cut ties and you have to reassess uh, what you're doing and that mentality. You don't need anybody like that. And my thing is, you find people that do this. At the end of the day, it's enough out there for all of us, business wise. There's business, it's all about how creative you can be. It's all about
Right.
the connections, how driven you are. All those play factors into you actually getting to that next level. And I found myself I realized I had to be I had to be more driven. I had to be more focused. You have to put in the work. I'm up until 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning sometimes doing the things that I have to do to know that I want to get to the next level. I'm no longer that's a shame, but I have very few people that I depend upon now to, if I feel like you know something or you know somebody, and I feel like that, maybe, hey, give me that information or connect me with that person that can assist me. I'm the exact opposite. Ever since I've been doing this, anybody that I figure I can help, if I see somebody looking for something I think they may help them, I'll inbox them, I'll text them, I'll make some effort to contact them to know um, that I'm here to assist you. It doesn't matter for me what I'm doing. It's not about being a millionaire or not about being rich, what it's about, that the fact that I've given it, I'm paying it forward, because when I first was divorced and I had nothing, didn't know what direction to go in, someone once helped me. So that's my mission. And, a lot of people's mission are not the same. It's all about being famous, having that status. All that, doesn't mean anything. If you notice, I have degrees, but you've never ever seen those letters behind my name. Those are titles and labels. They mean nothing. And I find that people respect me a whole lot more when they realize that, I'm not, you're not in this, I'm not in this for any gainful, I'm not trying to gain anything. So most people that are in your life that have that mentality, first of all, they have an ulterior motive. That's when you know you're in there, you're in that bucket of crabs. They have an ulterior motive. They don't believe that. They believe that it's an I in team. It's no I in team. It's all
Right.
about teamwork. And like I said, I can't speak for, I don't know if men experience this in their circles when they're dealing with just men, but I find that I've dealt with that with women. I mean, to be honest, and it's a shame, I prefer to work with men and doing things than actually working with women, because very few women are in my circle, and I try to keep it that way because, like I said, that women are notorious for it, that crab mentality. We constantly backbiting, lying, cheating,
Yes.
starting rumors, just anything to bring that individual they zero in on, to bring them down, to hold them back. They'll go to any, like Satan says, by any means necessary. They will do.
You know, I know a man who would tell you that men do this,
Oh, yeah.
and they do it. It's based on ego and power, but ego, the testosterone thing, comes into play. So he actually prefers working with women because women are more open and honest and trustworthy and willing to work with him, and so that's that's a the sexist thing, maybe, who knows what that is. It's the battle of the sexes or something. So women don't like helping women and men don't like helping men. They don't
Well, I
want
think it's
somebody do better than themselves in their own sex category.
right. I think it's more prevalent with the women though, because we watch the television, the most. We watch the shows. We emulate the women of the shows. We want to dress like them. We want to act like them. So I think it's more. We see it more with women because it's honestly what TV is geared to until sports, football season, and everything like that. But I think the majority of what we see on TV is geared towards women and bad attitudes in women at that. We're given the green light for women to just be obnoxious, to just be treacherous, to just be like have the crab mentality. We are given the green light to it. And because we get women like us and, that see it and want to do something about it, we're now, we're looked at upon, oh, they're just mad because they're not here, or they're just mad because they're not getting, what they want. They're just angry women, and I think that's what's going on, with society right now.
Well, I have a message for those people that think that. It's actually you who are failing to understand the fact that you're using this mentality, this crabs in a bucket mentality, to keep everybody down, and you're not escaping yourself. And the thing is people like us are standing out from the crowd. We're doing our own thing. We're one single crab in a bucket, and we're going to crawl out. And if other crabs happen to be in there, guess what? We're going to put down our claw and drag the other person out. And we won't even necessarily ask them if they need help. We just reach out and help. Simone, you're just saying that you just email somebody and say, can I help you somehow? That's what we have to be doing. We have to be doing that. I mean, even you can see it on Facebook. If somebody says, oh, I would like you to vote for my niece and her daughter to win the farmers market selfie contest, do you know that I have, probably nobody voted, or only the people that are like-minded, that actually want to see somebody else succeed and see somebody else's success. They're the ones who take the 2 seconds that it's going to take to follow the link and go and vote for somebody else so that they can win a contest.
Well, I want to ask you, Simone, you have a page that's up, and I've been watching it. Behind the Veil.
Yeah.
And you just put
Well,
that page up.
That's actually I have one of my other little small business. I have quite a few streams of income, but actually that is not my personal. That's not my page. I actually it's one of the businesses that I post for. I post do their marketing, social media
Hmm.
marketing on their page behind the Broken Vows Behind the Veil.
Right.
That's what I post for them on social media. Them and also a few other small businesses here in Baton Rouge. That's what I do for them. I work their social media pages for them.
Well, let me ask you, how does it feel? And I'm going to go on, we were talking about revving my engines and having a little rant. How does it feel? And I'm going to say how it feels for me. When we put something up and we ask our friends, our colleagues, our facers, to help us out, to vote for us, to help us get through. And I really want to be honest with that. How many of us can say that almost all of our contacts have done that for us? That we ask them to do something and they do it. I was in the Oprah OWN contest a couple of years ago, and all I needed was my Facebook friends, or family members to go on and vote. Do you know that I had more strangers vote than friends and family members? And that's just crazy to me. I had a rant one day on Facebook that Siobhan and we wrote a book, an ebook, $9.99, Journey of the Soul Car, shameless plug. And do you know that I can probably count how many people I know personally that spent $9.99 on the book? And I'm calling it out, real raw, right on. What happens to our family? What happens to the people that are, I got your back, I'm right there? What happens when we ask them to do something, when we ask them to like something, when we ask them to post something, and they just, you don't see them? But let somebody getting their ass beat on a video. You see that go everywhere. You'll see 5 of your family members posted, 5 of your friends post, 2 girls fighting and getting their tail beat. When you ask them to post something or repost or help you with something like that, you can't find anybody.
Because they don't want to.
How do we shift that attitude?
I've been trying to figure that out myself, but I think being human. I think we love drama. Like you said, it goes back to those reality shows. We love mayhem and drama and guts and glory and all that type of thing. That's what they love. But it goes back even to what we say. It can kind of go back to the crab mentality and the crab in the bucket mentality, even with family. Some people have the mentality of saying, if I like this, or if I share this, or if I purchase this, they're helping you. And believe, and I truly in my heart of hearts believe that they do not want you to succeed. There are people that do not want to see others succeed, and I don't know why. Because it's the greatest thing in the world for me to do is to see someone succeed.
Me too. Me too.
If I never get an inch further in life, I love to see other people succeed. It does something for me. It drives me to support other people. If somebody calls and wants me to come here or come there, I'm going. The only way I want, I'm already somewhere else. But no one has ever called me and I did not help them. And if I couldn't help them, I've put them into contact with a person that could help them.
That could.
And they're just people that are driven, and then in the short of it, they're just saying, I feel like they're evil. You have to be able to have the mindset for you to be calculated enough to think about not actually liking or sharing something on social media because you think this will help further that person that's behind that page. And you are so correct about, even with myself, every event I've done, every anything that I've done as far as events or with my magazine, I have gotten more support outside of family and friends and people that I've known all my life to people that I've just recently met. And I'm gonna give you a prime example. You and I both know her. And when I first started with my business, I met Jessica Johnson. Jessica didn't know me from a can of paint, but when I was initially starting, I had an event coming up. She was my very first sponsor. She wrote me a check and she did that. And I often tell people about that. She was on a few months ago, and I was the person that they asked to present the award. And I told them that story. I said she didn't know me from anybody else, but she was elevated enough that she wanted to reach back and pull me up. And if anybody knows Jessica is one of the most humble ladies or women that I've ever come across in my life, and she works in the community. I mean, day in and day out. That's her life, giving back. So you're just gonna run across those people, and it's sad to say there are more that are like that want to keep you down. And like I said, something that's minute as a like on the social media or a share or retweet or whatever, that they would go to that point to not do that. And that's the first time. I'm not going to, I've heard them, I'm not sharing that for them. I'm not doing that for them. I'm not going to give them that.
I've heard that as well.
You're not holding anybody back, because first of all, I believe in karma.
So do we.
And as my grandmother she would say all the time, and when I was younger, I used to wonder what she meant by it. You reap what you sow.
Absolutely.
So you do to people, and you don't think it's coming back, but it's coming back, and it used to take a long time, but it doesn't take a long time. So in karma, she don't have no picks and chooses like we do as humans. We have picked certain people that
right.
have certain people that they'll do for, certain people that they'll go there all out for. I see even within my own circle of network of people on Facebook, social media, I see them go all out and out to support certain people. And the people that they're supporting and they're uplifting and elevating, they get killed. They don't give, like they say, two hoops in hell about them. They're not going to return the favor. You see what I'm saying? But the person that will support you and go and give their all to you, you're not going to give back to those people for some odd reason, and I don't understand that. And that sometimes that infuriates me on Facebook. I said, now how in the world are you going to support this person? This person doesn't give any care anything about you. They're not care about what your mission is, or your purpose is, or what you're trying to accomplish. So that's just it's a messed up way that we have for thinking. I don't know if it's a way that our culture is TV. It's all those things.
And I think that it's time to put it in park, but I do want you guys to talk about this award that Donna was given, because it had everything to do with Rebirth Magazine, and you can get to rebirthmagazine.net. And I think it's just important for everybody listening is to take the envy that you might be feeling, become aware of it, and then turn it into admiration. And turn your defensiveness, when you get defensive, turn that into friendliness. Turn things around. Just shift your attitude and see how it shifts your life. Because when you do reach out and help people, I've got to tell you from experience, it makes you feel amazing and you sleep better at night. So,
yes, you do.
Talk about the award you got, Donna, and Simone. Tell everybody the process that went through.
I just was, awarded top-notch award. Rebirth Magazine celebrated their year. Actually, it was 2 years, right? But it was 1 year. 1 year anniversary, huh?
I think just having trouble hearing.
They celebrated their 1 year anniversary, and we were given, I want to say randomly selected, but no, this young lady that presented her award to me talked to my daughter, went to my page and learned a little bit about me, and I was given an award, Top Notch Diva, which it's by my bed. I want you to know, Shimon, I see that when I wake up in the morning. That award is by my bed. I believe in seeing things like that. Anything that uplifts, anything that does exactly what you try to do with the magazine, Rebirth Magazine, to put people, in connection, to give people something to be happy about, to celebrate about. And I look at that before I go to bed, and I look at it before, when I get up in the morning. And I was really honored to be a part of, what you have going on, because you are great. And that's how we met each other, in just connecting. And there isn't anything that I wouldn't bake for Miss Simone in the event that she has.
You'll be in trouble for saying that.
I'll do it for you, though. I have your back on that, because that's what
I know you do. Anything I've ever called and asked you to do or assist me with, what we were trying to do is always, what do you need, when do you need it, and how much of it do you need. So it's never been a no. And when we were planning that event, and we were thinking about people that had done, that not necessarily, a lot of them hadn't done anything really, really big in the community, but when we had that meeting, I said what I most admire about Donna is that her willingness to help, her willingness to give of herself, and her love of family. And that's so rare now to find people that have that genuine love of family. That's, I can remember having that growing up when we had that, and that's what I love out of everything that you do. That's the most important thing I love that you do. That your love of family, your love for your children, your husband, and your mother. That's the most beautiful thing in the world. And if we can get back, everybody can get back to that, the love of family. I think that things would probably be a lot better than what they are. I love that about you, and I told him when I threw your name in a hat, I said now, and when I went to the person that I wanted to present it, I said now I want you to name this award. Now I think she didn't even know you at the time. I think she maybe had heard your name, so she started researching you, and then she called me one night. She said, you know what? She's a top-notch diva. I said you got that right. You're so correct on that. I said that fits her perfectly. I said she's a, and then she went on to say you were all these types of divas, and that's an awesome thing, And I think very very highly of you, and all of the ladies that were chosen. Everybody was chosen for a reason, and everybody gives something back to the world, giving a part of themselves.
Well, Simone, you have a new book being released very soon. Do you want to tell everybody where to look for it and a little bit about it before we close for the night?
Yes. The name of the book rather, is my first book that I've actually written, and it took me a while to write it. It's called My Words Are Bigger Than I'm Bigger Than His Words, which is a story of my during the time that I was married, that I was in an abusive relationship, more mentally, emotionally, and verbally abusive than physical. And it did a toll on me. It took me a while. Like earlier this year, my mother did not know, my sister didn't know, and I put an excerpt of it on Facebook, and my sister texted me. She said, "Why didn't you tell me?" I said, "Because you don't understand that when you're in a situation like that, you live with this extreme amount of guilt. You live with being ashamed." I said, "I've lived with that for over 10 years of my life." I said, "But now I want, I've come to a point where I want to share what happened to me, and I want people to understand because I always hear women, men, other people in general, family members, why you just don't leave, why she didn't do this, but no one ever says why was he doing what he was doing, why he didn't stop." So I want people to understand the mindset and the mental state of women, and there are men, that anybody that's in an abusive relationship, what they're thinking, what they're going through. So that kind of chronicles the way it's written is it's like you're in my head. So it's going to be released on September 7th. It'll be able to be purchased. It can be pre-purchased on IamShePhoenix.com. It's a tab for it there. And I'm just excited about it. Like I said, it tells the span of 10 years of my life, over 10 years of my life, and what I endured and how I got not got away, but I guess escaped and got away, and how I began to rebuild my life and to find what my purpose was, and what my journey, to continue my journey on just on a different path than where I started.
Wow. We'll definitely have you back on the show when your book is out. We'll try to snag you before
I would love to come back. I've enjoyed
everybody else gets ready to snag you.
Time to put it in park, Donna. And I just have a great quote I just found before we close it up. Each one teach one, lifting as we rise.
Wow, that's a great segue, because you know what? She has risen from the ashes. She Phoenix. That's her reason. I am She Phoenix. She has a reason for calling herself that. Go check out Rebirth Magazine and check her out on Facebook, and get ready, because you know what, Simone, I know what's going to happen. You're going to take it by storm. You're going to take it by storm, and you're going to do the great things that I know you want to do. You have that never say die attitude. And I welcome you to be a titanium link in the toe chain that we have. We're creating the world's longest toe chain of sisters, and we put those titanium links in there every now and then when we feel the need that we have a link that's going to be strong. And we just nominated you our titanium link. And I'm going to make sure I say that tonight, that you are a titanium link in my toe chain. And I appreciate everything, and for you to take your time tonight and join us on the show, The Attitude Shift. Siobhan, do we have anything next week coming up that we need to let everybody know before I slam this baby into park?
My tan will be better.
That'll work. That'll work. Her tan will be better. Simone and I will keep our lovely natural tans aglow.
Yeah.
You can check us out on Facebook. You'll see that I'll have links to Simone. We'll make sure you guys know, or, you know, people watching the show, anybody want to keep up with her as she rises from the ashes, we'll put links on the Attitude Shift page as it warrants. And with that, you know, check me out. Donnie M. Butler on Facebook, Siobhan Shaw on Facebook, The Attitude Shift on Facebook, Journey of the Soul Car on Facebook, and you can see our website, theattitudeshift.com. We're going to put it in park. I'm going to tell you of one thing. Take care of yourself. You know, family's great. You know, friends are great, but when it all comes down to it, you are accountable to you and you only. Until we talk again next week, stay safe, stay clean, like me in the shower. Peace out. I love you guys.
Nice.